When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious
Hello, and very good welcome to you all. Good evening, and welcome to the Big Nerd Pub Quiz, coming to you live from the Harbourside Studios here in the beautiful South Down Riviera. How's it all going? As you can see, right, different kind of camera setup. I've got a brand new toy here. It's called a ring light, and basically I've got my camera set up so I'm looking straight down through the barrel of the lens. And look, I can make it super bright. I'm going to make this... I'm actually going to turn that down. It's way too bright. Anyway, this is the Big Nerd Pub Quiz coming to you live from Harbourside Radio on Harbourside of Warren Point, County Down, the South Down Riviera. It's a beautiful day today. If you don't even, we're knocking about the front shore. Absolutely amazing. You would have seen two of us with a drone going about getting some fantastic shots of the... Get the sound up a bit. Yeah, nice and dubby here for you. Yeah, we're out today in the front shore of Warren Point, getting some fantastic drone footage, which I'm going to get around to showing you at some point later on. Not today, but you'll see it. I should have actually got it. I actually should have had it behind me at all times. Really cool, like flying drones. We will sort that out. Anyway, this is Big Nerd Pub Quiz. It is Sunday, the 20th of September. If this is your first time, you're very welcome. This is how you play. Very simple. You will find in the link of this video, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, a link to a Google Doc, which will open up and give you access to the answer sheets. This is how you play it. Very straightforward. You will see a series of blank questions with just 4 answers. That's the answer sheet. All you have to do, pop your email address in and hit the right answer as I ask them out. 8 rounds, 6 questions each, so there's only 1 correct answer per question. And once the quiz is finished, all you have to do is hit submit, send your scores at the end, and then you get the answers at the very end. So do stick about to see how you got on, where you messed up, what you got right. Sell those scores, sell those arguments. It's recommended that you stream the quiz on a laptop or television and play using the Google form on your phone or other device. All it remains to me says good luck. Let's have a bit of crack at doing this. Like very close up. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get this camera rig right at some point, but like I said, first time using this particular setup. As you can see, still got the amazing, cool Harbourside Radio green screen backdrop. You can actually see if I move it. We've got a really cool setup here, I have to say. Anyway, won't waste your time. Like I said, 8 rounds as always tonight. Start off with the first one. Oh yeah, don't forget, if you want to advertise with Harbourside Radio, don't forget you can email us, info@harbourside.radio.com. But yeah, let's get the quiz started here. Let's go for it. It's the general knowledge round. First one, as we always do. Yes, 6 questions based on your knowledge of general knowledge. But here's the crack. If you want to get ahead of this round, very simple. All you have to do is keep an eye on the news. Seems straightforward. Most of the questions I compiled of this are from current events which have happened over the last couple of days. So yes, it just goes to show you how keen an eye you're keeping on the current events happening around the world. So here we go. Round 1, question number 1. Sadly, the US Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg sadly passed away this week. But which president appointed her to the bench of the Supreme Court? Yes, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, only the second Supreme Court Justice after Sandra Day O'Connor. If you don't know, the Supreme Court, a very, very contentious position at the moment because it's a presidential appointment. It's a very politicized appointment. And the Supreme Court can knock out any laws passed by the Senate or the executive. So yes, currently at the moment there are 3 Liberal judges on the bench. And last time that they tried to fill it under President Obama, it was very, very contentious. But yes, which president appointed Ruth Bader Ginsburg to the Supreme Court? That's round 1, question number 1. Round 1, question number 2. Which nut is used as the main ingredient in pesto? Bit of a random one, that. I don't know why I was thinking pesto, but decided to throw this one out as a random kind of food and drink one. But what nut is used as the main ingredient of pesto? If you're as middle class as I am and like to use pesto, then yes. Round 1, question 2. Actually, we don't really use pesto in my house. Very meat and 2 veg type of family we are. Anyway, round 1, question 2. Which nut is used as the main ingredient in pesto? Round 1, question 3. So astronomers detected the unexplained presence of which gas in the atmosphere of Venus, prompting suggestions that living organisms could be floating in the planet's clouds. And so it goes with every kind of science story like this, that the press jump up and it's like, oh, there's life on another planet. It's bacteria, mate. You know, it's kind of like it's not you know, it gives off a gas. We're not all going to move there. Although it's prompted a lot of people saying, let's move to Venus. I don't know about you, but I kind of want to see how this final season of Planet Earth goes. It's an honor to be here, I have to say, see the collapse of Western civilization. Anyway, round 1, question 3. Astronomers detected the unexplained presence of which gas in the atmosphere of Venus this week? Round 1, question 4. So, I can't pronounce this at all. Yoshihide Suga is the newly elected Prime Minister of which country? The previous Prime Minister actually had to step down due to health concerns. Whether they were COVID or not, I think they actually were COVID related. But he's had to step down from the position, and his party re-elected him, or elected this particular guy. But yes, Yoshihide Suga is the newly elected Prime Minister of which country? That's round 1, question 4. Round 1, question 5. I'm a bit of a Wes Anderson fan myself, but anyway, what is the name of the new Wes Anderson film, which release has been pushed back due to the pandemic? Yes, the movie was meant to debut at a film festival there during the year. However, the premiere has been pushed back a couple of times. It was meant to come out in October, and I think it's just been scrapped till next year. But what's the name of the new Wes Anderson film? It's super quirky looking. It's got Bill Murray in it, of course. Saoirse Ronan's in it. It looks stylish as hell. I'm sure as every Wes Anderson movie is. But what's the name of the new Wes Anderson movie that's meant to be coming out this year? It's round 1, question 5. And your next question and final question of this round, this general knowledge round on Sunday. Round 1, question 6. A copy of Shakespeare's last ever play was discovered in a college in Spain at the weekend. What's the title? So I'm looking for the title of Shakespeare's last ever play. In fact, he actually wrote it with somebody else. They say the copy of the play ended up in the hands of the college itself by someone who was passing through. It's the Scottish College in in Spain, I think in Zaragoza or somewhere up north. Anyway, but here's round 1, question 6. A copy of Shakespeare's last ever play discovered in the College of Spain last weekend. What's the title? So I'm basically asking what the title of Shakespeare's last ever play was. Alright, so there's your round up there. So round 1, question 1. Which US president appointed Ruth Bader Ginsburg to the Supreme Court? 2. Which nut is used as the main ingredient in pesto? 3. Which gas was discovered in the atmosphere of Venus this week? 4. Yoshihide Suga is the newly elected Prime Minister of which country? 5. What's the name of the new Wes Anderson film? And 6. What copy of Shakespeare's play discovered in a college in Scotland? What is the title? Sorry, the college in Spain. It was actually, but the college is actually called the Scottish College. I think it was a seminary. But what's the title of Shakespeare's last play? I can tell you it's not a really well known one. His earlier work was actually a lot better and a lot better received. Anyway, yeah, this is the Big Nerd Pub Quiz on Harbourside, live worldwide, coming to you from Warren Point, County Down, new home of the quiz. Like I said, if you want to get in touch with me at any point, give us a bell on any of the different social media channels that you see here, whether they are on Harbourside or Big Nerd Pub Quiz. So yeah, do check those out. We are now up on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, of course. Harbourside Rad is the Twitter, although we're not really getting that much uptake, but do follow the Instagram and the Facebook there. And if you want to shout out at any point, leave a message in the comments. I see somebody already has. I'll give them a shout out at some point later on tonight. Anyway, here we go. On to the next round, Big Nerd Pub Quiz. And it's a music round. And this week's music round, I decided to kind of give it a bit of a theme. This week's music round is basically about music which has been banned. So yes, music which has been censored or banned because it raised a few eyebrows back in the day. Plenty of that going on during the 60s and 70s. So anyway, we're going to be talking about music, controversial music that was taken off the airways. So we have a kick-off today. Round 2, question 1. So which Rolling Stones track had its lyrics changed on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1967 due to the sexually charged nature of the lyrics? This is a kind of common thing on Ed Sullivan's Show, on the Tonight Show. They'd go in and get bands, like I think they wanted to change the lyrics to "Girl, We Couldn't Get Much Higher" in the Doors song. Come on baby, light my fire, to "Girl, this could get much better." Similar sort of thing happened to the Rolling Stones on this particular song, but which Rolling Stones track had its lyrics changed on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1967 due to the sexually charged nature of its lyrics? Interestingly, it came up as a double-sided track, and because it was banned on the radio in Ireland, it didn't go that high. Not surprising that they would ban stuff in Ireland, no. Anyway, round 2, question 2. Which REM song was included in a memo from Clear Channel following the 9/11 attacks in 2001? So if you're not familiar with this, Clear Channel are a multimedia conglomerate that own a load of different radio stations. And following the 9/11 attacks in 2001, they sent a memo with a huge list of songs that radio stations were not to play under any circumstances due to the sensitive nature of the lyrics. Of course, you can imagine pretty much all of Rage Against the Machine not on it. Loads of Limp Bizkit, loads of kind of Korn, lots of heavy metal was banned. But one particular REM song was included on the list. I'm looking for the name of that song. Maybe you can probably figure out which song it would be, given the sensitive nature of the song and the title itself. But yes, which REM song was included in a memo from Clear Channel following the 9/11 attacks in 2001? Round 2, question 3. Which 1984 song written by Holly Johnson did DJ Mike Reed refuse to play due to the lyrics? Yes, the DJ took a very, very opinionated stance on this. And then the record itself was subsequently banned from the BBC airwaves. However, DJs like cooler DJs like John Peel were playing the track anyway. So there wasn't really... the BBC actually reversed their ban towards the end of the year. Holly Johnson. I'm not going to give the name of the band, but you'll probably figure out the name of the lead singer there from it. So Holly Johnson. So which 1984 song written by Holly Johnson did DJ Mike Reid refuse to play due to the lyrics? Round 2, question 4. Je t'aime. The 1967 song by Serge Gainsbourg was recorded with which actress and met much furore about its content? Yes, very risque song, I have to say. It's not one you'd play at a kid's party, put it that way. It's in fact he wrote it for, I think he was going to collaborate with a different the French crooner Serge himself. He was going to collaborate with a different group of actresses, and eventually couldn't get any of them on board. But yes, this British French actress, British French actress. Oh, my phone's going off. We actually did do it in the end, but yes. So Je t'aime, the 1967 song by Serge Gainsbourg, was recorded with which actress and made much furore about its content, all the way back in 1967. Round 2, question 4. Round 2, question 5. Kind of touched upon this earlier on, but which song reached number 1 in Christmas 2010 following an online campaign to bump off the X Factor winner that year? Now, not exactly banned, but put it this way. They didn't play the end of the song. If you know where I'm going with this, they definitely didn't play the end of it. They really didn't. But yes, which song reached number 1 in Christmas 2010 following an online campaign to bump the X Factor winner off that year? Not kill them, but knock them off the number 1 slot. That's what I'm trying to say. Round 2, question number 5. And your final question here, not banned, a bit of censorship going on, but what brand of soft drink had to be changed to cherry cola in 1970 hit Lola by the Kinks? Again, this was so that the BBC wouldn't be seen to be given preference to other brands due to advertising. But what brand of soft drink had to be changed to cherry cola in the 1970 hit Lola by the Kinks? Again, if you can kind of sing along the lyrics, you can kind of work it out. There's your roundup there of contentious banned songs, censored songs. So I'm looking for... So which Rolling Stones track had to have its lyrics changed on the Ed Sullivan Show in 1967 due to the sexually charged nature of the lyrics? Number 2, which R.E.M. song was included in a memo from Clear Channel following the 9/11 attacks? 3, which 1984 song written by Holly Johnson did DJ Mike Reid refuse to play due to the lyrics? Number 4, which actress collaborated with Serge Gainsbourg? 1967 track Je t'aime. 5, which song reached number 1 in the Christmas charts in 2010 following an online campaign to bump off the X Factor winner? Very, very explicit lyrics at the end. I'm not going to repeat them here. And what brand of soft drink had to be changed to cherry cola in 1970 on the hit Lola by the Kinks? Okay, we're going to go fire straight on into the next round here. Next round is movies. And a bit of a theme with this one. This one is kind of fill in the gaps. I've taken some of the 6 of the most well-known film franchises out there. And as we all know, they all have a particular type of order. And all I'm asking you to do is fill in the blank installment. Alright, sounds simple enough? Well, give it a try. Okay, so you'll see when it comes up. So if I go Godfather Part 1, Godfather Part 2, blank, which film follows those 2? You got me? It's not going to be as easy as that, but we'll give it a go. So here we go, round 3, Revenge of the Sith, blank, The Empire Strikes Back. Now, bear in mind, when I was writing this question, I actually had a little bit of a brainwave and realised, yes, Rogue One does technically slot in between Revenge of the Sith and the film in question here. However, I'm not counting it because it's not part of the overall saga. Yes, it is a Star Wars movie, but I'm not counting Rogue One. I'm counting the ones in the main. So episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Revenge of the Sith, the blank, The Empire Strikes Back. Fill in the blank installment there. It's round 3, question 1. Round 3, question 2. Aliens, Alien 3, blank. First 3 movies there, Ridley Scott, James Cameron and David Fincher, all at the helm, directing these iconic science fiction horror films. But which was the 4th installment? Which film came after these 3 here? So Aliens, Alien 3, blank. It's round 3, question number 2. Round 3, question 3. I know Rafa's going to get this. He's a big Bond fan. View to a Kill, blank. License to Kill. So we're talking 80s Bond, Roger Moore era. But was View to... So we have View to a Kill, blank. License to Kill. Interestingly, License to Kill was actually going to be called License Revoked, but the producers actually genuinely believed that the American audiences wouldn't know what revoked meant. And so they changed it to License to Kill. Rafa says less than a second to get that. Oh, of course you did. Round 3, question 3. I knew you were playing tonight. Anyway, round 3, question number 4, straight up. So, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, blank. Not a franchise I'm that familiar with. I know Ryan out there, massive Harry Potter fan, has got a tattoo in his arm. But Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, blank. What are we looking for here? Round 3, question 4. Obviously, the Harry Potter franchise. Same order as the books. So if you know the order of the books, you'll definitely get the order of the movies. 8 movies in total. They actually had to split one of them at the end into 2. Round 3, question 4. Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, blank. Next one up. Round 3, question 5. Blank. The Search for Spock, The Voyage Home. As some of you know me, I'm a massive Star Trek fan. Which film slots into there? Part of a trilogy. You can actually watch these 3 movies as part of a kind of a self-contained story. Round 3, question 5. They're fantastic movies. In fact, I'd actually go as far as say I rate The Voyage Home. If I told you the plot, it's about the Star Trek crew have to go back in time to 1986 to save some whales and bring them back to the future. Yeah, it's mental. If you were to pitch that idea, you'd just get funny looks. Round 3, question 5. Blank, The Search for Spock, The Voyage Home. But I'm telling you, The Voyage Home is well worth watching. It's fantastic. It's the funniest Star Trek movie. And your final one here, bit from the X-Men movies here. Deadpool, X-Men Apocalypse, blank. Put this one in, round 3, question 6. I have to say, I'd highly rate this movie. I think it's one of the best X-Men films of that canon of movies. Not a massive I'm not a big superhero movie fan. Everyone assumes you must be into your Marvel. Not really, but these are pretty good. But Deadpool, X-Men Apocalypse, what came after X-Men Apocalypse in the timeline of movies in terms of they were released. So anyway, round 3, question 6. 4 options there in your answer sheet. We'll wrap up the movie round there with the last look at those questions. Just fill in the blanks there. Like I said, Revenge of the Sith, blank. The Empire Strikes Back, bear in mind I'm not counting Rogue One. 2, Aliens, Alien 3, blank. 3, If You Do a Kill, blank. License to Kill. 4, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, blank. Search for Spock, Voyage Home. And finally, number 6, Deadpool, X-Men Apocalypse, blank. All right, we're nearly up to the halfway point. Time now is 25 minutes past 8. We're getting a couple of wee shout-outs there. Yes, looking at the live. Ben Clifford tuning in from Cloudy, Dublin, currently nursing a migraine and this wonderful quizzy distraction. Good to hear from you, Ben. Rosaline Moore is watching. She says hello all. I got another wee shout-out here as well. I've got one from, if I can get it, if I can bring this up on my screen. I've got two messages here on the old Instagram. Hopefully I'll have a wee quick look. Helen Griffin, she says, hope you're all well. Please can you wish Christina speedy recovery. She's struggling with her hand in a plaster cast after an accident in Madrid last Thursday. Well, hope you all get better and hope that hand heals. Lucky you got to go to Madrid. Unless you're out there and you know. Anyway, definitely dreaming of holidays. If you want to be shout out at any point tonight, let me know. Give us a message on any of the social media channels there at Harbourside Radio, and get and follow and like our brand new station. Like I said, it's really kicking off. We're getting some new shows. Get more details on those coming up. Anyway, last round before the halftime. Round 4, history and politics. Yeah, no real kind of themes with this one. Just kind of 6 questions based on history and politics from plenty of different eras. Let's have a go. Let's see it. Round 4, question number 1. Which of the following countries is not a constitutional monarchy? Is Denmark, Switzerland, Sweden, or Norway? You'd be surprised how many countries still have kings and queens. It's bizarre. Round 4, question 1. Which of the following countries is not a constitutional monarchy? Denmark, Switzerland, Sweden, or Norway? Round 4, question 2. Magna Carta, translated from Latin, means what in English? So round 4, question 2. Magna Carta, translated from Latin, means what in English? It's considered to be one of the founding documents of the rule of law, if anything, the establishment of the separation of divine right from kings. So the law of man in England, year 1215, signed at Runnymede outside Windsor. That's round 4, question 2. Round 4, question 3. Which film festival was held for the first time on this day in 1946? Yes, originally meant to be held, but it was interrupted by the events of World War II. But which film festival was held for the very first time on this day in 1946? That's round 4, question 3. Round 4, question 4. Another elimination question here. Which of these countries was not part of the Warsaw Pact? Poland, East Germany, Bulgaria, or Yugoslavia? So round 4, question 4. What's the Warsaw Pact? The Warsaw Pact was a military and economic and political union between the Soviet Union and various Eastern Bloc countries, which were essentially under their control, satellite states. And pretty much was the kind of counterpart to NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which had a lot of the Western countries. Dissolved in 1991 after the collapse of the Soviet Union, but signed in 1954, I think, 1955. But which of those countries was not a part of the Warsaw Pact? Poland, East Germany, Bulgaria, or Yugoslavia? So, round 4, question 5, an interesting one, but he was considered to be the very first Prime Minister of the UK. And this is going by historical, again, the actual office of the Prime Minister itself, all the way back then, was meant to be kind of the head minister of the group or council of ministers that were advising the king. But the actual role itself, the modern day role itself, was considered to be established by this particular person. Round 4, question 5. So who's considered to be the actual first Prime Minister of the United Kingdom? Round 4, question 5. And your final question here, very topical again. Round 4, question 6. Who was nominated to be Joe Biden's running mate in the upcoming 2020 US presidential election? Yeah, it's going to be on the ticket with Diamond Joe, in this extremely contentious. I'm not looking forward to watch it, I'm going to be honest. Up against Trump and Pence. Hopefully this can be the Democratic Dream Team ticket to take the White House in 2021. But who is nominated to be Joe Biden's vice president? Announced a couple of weeks ago. There's your roundup there of history and politics questions. So which of those countries does not have a constitutional monarchy? Denmark, Switzerland, Sweden or Norway? 2. Magna Carta translates from Latin, means what in English? 3. Which film festival was held for the very first time on this day in 1946? 4. Which of these countries was not part of the Warsaw Pact? Poland, East Germany, Bulgaria, Yugoslavia? 5. Who's considered to be the very first Prime Minister of the UK? And 6. Who was nominated to be Joe Biden's running mate in the upcoming 2020 US presidential elections? Alright, so there's the time now, is 31 minutes past 8 on this really lovely Indian summer style September that we're having, and I have to say it was picture perfect weather that we had around the front shore this morning here in Warren Point. Absolutely amazing. Like I said, down here in the South Down River area, it's absolutely incredible. Like, it's one of those things when we get the good weather, this place is rivals Naples in my opinion. But yes, we're going to keep it rocking and rolling here, bring us right up to 9 o'clock. And we've got 4 more rounds for you on loads of different topics. But don't forget, if you want to hear or listen to more shows, check out our website, Harbourside.radio.com. Check out our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and we're on Harbourside Rad on Twitter. We don't really worry about that. Harbourside Rad, it sounds like a 90s surf shop. Anyway, let's keep going here. Round 5. If you've been playing the quiz now, I always keep round 5 the sports round. So let's have a wee look at sports. 6 random questions all about sports here tonight. Anyway, let's have a go. Round 5, question 1. Billie Jean King played which male tennis player in the famous Battle of the Sexes exhibition game in 1973? If you haven't seen the movie with Steve Carell, then definitely it's absolutely fantastic. It's really, 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 really good. But yes, definitely one of the best movies I've seen in quite a while. It's very, very, very funny. But yeah, Emma Stone plays Billie Jean King, but Steve Carell plays the male opponent. It's a very, very funny. It's a very, very well written movie. Definitely do check it out. But yes, Billie Jean King played which male tennis player in the famous Battle of the Sexes exhibition game in 1973? Round 5, question 2, for all the rugby fans, very topical at the moment, but which Irish rugby player and Leinster fullback announced his retirement this weekend? It was long awaited. It was definitely coming. He's played his final game in the green and the blue jersey. And the Leinster's defeat to Saracens yesterday confirmed that he wouldn't be playing anymore. One of the only players to actually feature in both Grand Slam winning teams, 2009 and 2018. So a long, distinguished, fantastic career from this one particular player. But who am I talking about here? Which Irish rugby player and Leinster fullback announced his retirement? That was it for him. Mental, considering he's the same age as me. It's like, wow, he's done so much. Round 5, question 2. Moving on, round 5, question 3. No, we're all very happy to see the Premier League back. But who scored the opening goal of the Premier League season this year, 2020-21 season? Who scored the opening goal? Don't know about you, but have to say it's been cracking to see the football back, especially the pace at which it's been played. Leeds United holding on there last night. Man United getting beat 3-1. Zaha scoring twice. I haven't seen the score from the Liverpool game yet, so I am very curious to see how frankly Lampard's big signings have done, and Everton actually smashing there yesterday as well. Round 5, question 3, but who scored the opening goal of the Premier League season? You have to kind of cast your mind back. What was the first game? Anyway, round 5, question 4. In which state is the current US Open being played? The course is at the Winged Foot Club. You're looking at it. They're a very, very fancy club. It would be. Probably costs a lot for membership. But in which US state is the current US Open being played right now? And actually probably is going. It is going on right now. In fact, I might have a wee look in to see how it is going. BBC Sport, have a wee look. Get a little bit of an update. Ooh, it is final round at the US Open is happening right now. But yes, in which US state is it happening in right now? Round 5, question 5. Very sad week for racing. Pat Smullen, the Irish jockey, sadly passed away this week, but won the English Derby on which horse in 2016? Round 5, question 5. Pat Smullen, Irish jockey who sadly passed away this week, won the English Derby on which horse back in 2016? And your final sports question for tonight. Which basketball team have won the most NBA championships? Very simple. Round 5, question 6. Which basketball team have won the NBA championships the most times? And I can tell you now, having a look, DeChambeau is currently the leader at -3. Wolf at -2. Bryson DeChambeau. Yep, having a look there, and I caught those other scores there. So Leicester City, Burnley, 3-2. Southampton smashed by Tottenham, 5-2. Brighton smashing Newcastle 3-0. Liverpool beating 10-man Chelsea 2-0. Good start for them. Leicester 4-2 there. Currently at 79 minutes, but anyway, that's your score update. Anyway, we'll fire on with a quiz. Stop my yammering. Just quickly, so Billie Jean King played which male tennis player in the Battle of the Sexes game in 73? 2, which Irish rugby player and fullback announced his retirement this weekend? 3, who scored the opening goal of the Premier League season this season? 4, which state is the current US Open being played right now? 5, Pat Smullen, the Irish jockey, sadly passed away this week, won the English Derby on which horse? And 6, finally, which basketball team have won the NBA championships the most times? If you're interested in sport or anything like that, do tune into my new sports show called Sports Point. It's happening this Tuesday at 7 o'clock with Sarah McDonald here on Harbourside.com. So don't miss it if you want to listen to me yammer on about just random sports, really. Anyway, moving on. Next round, arts and literature. Yes, we've kind of done a couple of these kind of rounds before where we've kind of specialised it, but yeah, here we are. We're talking about debut works. I'm going to give you the titles of 6 books written by 6 very well-known authors. All you have to do is identify the author. Can you do that? Some of the works are quite well-known, some of them aren't. But we'll kick off right now. Round 6, question number 1. A Study in Scarlet. It was written by which author? It was the debut novel of which author? And actually the debut appearance of a particular famous literary character. But I'm looking for the name of the author himself. Round 6, question 1. A Study in Scarlet. Moving on to round 6, question number 2. The Gremlins. It's interesting. I've never heard of this book before, but when I actually was looking up the titles and actually debut novels of these particular writers, this one is actually a little bit surprising. But yes, The Gremlins, round 6, question number 2. who wrote that book. And no, it's not what you're thinking. It's not the adaptation, not the 1984 movie with Judge Reinhold. No, it's not that one. Round 6, question 3. The Edible Woman. A very famous female author wrote this, quite prominent. I will give you another clue. Winner of the Booker Prize this year. The Edible Woman, the debut novel from which author? Round 6, question 3. Round 6, question 4. A giant of English literature, the Pickwick Papers, was the debut novel of which very well-known writer? I think this one was probably the most well-known one of them all. But yes, the Pickwick Papers, debut novel of which master of the English novel. Round 6, question 5. The Catcher in the Rye. Very famous novel, very famous countercultural novel from the 1950s. This was this particular writer's debut work, and actually didn't really write any much after that. Kind of just, not faded into obscurity, but kind of just hung back. Yes, round 6, question 5. The Catcher in the Rye. Who wrote that famous work? And your final, arts and literature. I think this is my favorite title out of all of them. And to think I saw it coming on, to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Round 6, question 6. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Which author wrote that book? Again, not a very well-known book from his oeuvre of work, but it should surprise you when you hear it. So round 6, question 6, and to think I saw it on Mulberry Street. There's your roundup there of arts and literature questions. Firing away here. Got 20 minutes to do the last 2 rounds, but here we go. Study in Scarlet, The Gremlins, The Edible Woman, The Pickwick Papers, Catcher in the Rye, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. All debut novels from which authors? Alright, there we go. Like I said, with time now is 20, just past 22. 9 here tonight on Sunday the 20th of September. 2 more rounds to go from Harbourside Radio here. And let's have a wee look at them. Let's see what you're up against next. I've themed this next round. I always seem to theme round 7 airplanes. Probably a little bit simplistic. Aviation, I should have called it. Aviation first. I'm a big plane geek. I was chatting to my friends earlier on about whether we like to fly or not. I, again, don't mind it. My sister, no, not a fan. But here we go. Airplanes. 6 questions all about aviation and technology. Let's see how you fare with this one. It's round 7. Question number 1. What was the name given to the first ever plane to fly Charles Lindbergh across the Atlantic in 1927? Flew from New York to Paris on the first solo transatlantic flight. So round 7, question 1. Considered to be an amazing feat at the time. And that's actually the plane there behind him. Charles Lindbergh, a little bit of a dubious character, actually, when you read into his life. Considered a massive American hero, extremely popular when he got back to the States. Was a noted anti-Semite. And he actually a bit of a cad. He fathered like numerous families. I suppose you could have got away with it back then, but yeah, he had a whole family in Germany. Ridiculous. But anyway, round 7, question 1. Looking for the name of his plane that brought him across the Atlantic in 1927. Round 7, question 2. Who was the first pilot to fly faster than the speed of sound on board Bell X-1? No, not the band from Dublin. But they are named after this plane. He nicknamed it Glamorous Glennis. Plane itself actually couldn't take off from ground like a conventional aircraft. It was actually tucked underneath the wing of a bomber and dropped. The flight took place in 1947 using kind of jet rocket engine technology. And it's actually featured in the movie The Right Stuff by Tom Wolfe. Do check it out. It's a fantastic adventure movie all about the early space program and early avionics. I'm a big avionic geek. But yes, who was the first pilot to fly faster than the speed of sound aboard Bell X-1? Next question, round 7, question 3. What's currently the largest passenger airplane in the world right now in service? I'm not looking for the largest plane, but I am looking for the largest passenger airplane. It's round 7, question 3. I don't think they're building them anymore. So, it's just a shame. I do want to fly in one before they retire. Maybe you have flown on them. But what is currently the world's largest passenger airplane? I'm looking for the model and the make. Round 7, question 3. Round 7, question 4. In which US state did the Wright brothers fly their first prototype flyer? The location was Kitty Hawk. But in which US state? It was on a beach. And the guys who built the Wright brothers were bicycle manufacturers, I think, which is mental. Round 7, question 4. Which US state did the Wright brothers fly their first prototype flyer? You can actually see the actual plane itself in the Smithsonian. What was mind-blowing about seeing it, they had a rope around it and you were looking at it, and it was basically saying, normally we actually have a reproduction of the plane itself out, we don't have it out, but you're looking at the real one, this is the real one. And I was mind-blown by that. It's so cool. My favourite museum, has to be my favourite museum. Round 7, question 5. What aircraft type delivered the first atomic bomb attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945? They were nicknamed Enola Gay and Boxcar. But I'm looking for the names. I'm looking for the type of aircraft, the type of bomber. Maybe you'll recognise the title. But I'm looking for the title of the bomber that delivered the first atomic bomb attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. Like I said, nicknamed Enola Gay and Boxcar. And the final one here, round 7, question 6. In which city is the world's busiest airport according to passenger figures in 2019? This airport is a huge hub. There's a lot of passengers in from around the world. But round 7, question 6. Which city is the world's busiest airport according to passenger figures in 2019? And don't worry, I did verify them before writing that question. Double checked. But which city is the world's busiest airport according to passenger figures 2019? There's your roundup of aviation and airplane questions. What's the name of the aircraft flying Charles Lindbergh across the Atlantic in 1927? 2. Who was the first test pilot to fly faster than the speed of sound aboard Bell X-1? 3. What is currently the world's largest passenger airplane? 4. In which state did the Wright brothers fly their first prototype flyer? 5. Which aircraft type delivered the first atomic bomb attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945? And in which city is the world's busiest airport according to passenger figures in 2019? I doubt they'll see them probably get up to those figures again given the current circumstances which are happening now. God, I wish I could travel again, but there we are. That is the penultimate round tonight. We're coming on to the final round. Time. Well, yeah, we've got enough time in. Coming up to 10 to 9. So, like I said, I'm going to read out the last set of questions. And once you hit submit on your answer sheet, you will get the scores. But do stick about to hear the answers, see where you went right and where you went wrong. Anyway, here we go with the final round tonight, and it's all about nice, simple, bland, wee geography round. No special kind of bells, whistles, or gimmicks with this one. Just 6 standard questions about geography. Which should get your head scratching. Let's see how you get on. Round 8, question number 1. Which modern-day Indian city used to be called Madras? So round 8, question 1. Which modern-day Indian city used to be called Madras? I believe right up until 1996. And they changed the official name to what it is currently now. Round 8, question number 1. You might know Madras from from the Madras curry. That's how I heard about it. Round 8, question number 1. Which modern-day Indian city used to be called Madras? Moving on, round 8, question 2. Which city would you find Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa? So yes, round 8, question 2. In which city would you find Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa? May seem very straightforward, but think. Where is it? Where would you go to see it? Where would you queue for hours to go and see a picture the size of a postage stamp? It's not that big. But yes, round 8, question 2. They say the reason why you're kind of really not sure whether she's smiling or not is because of the disjointed background behind her. You can see the kind of right portion there is a little bit higher than the lower portion. It kind of does something with your eyes that kind of makes it look as though whether she is smiling or not. Maybe facial recognition, you could probably figure that one out. But round 8, question 2. Which city would you find Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa? Next one, round 8, question 3. In which European city would you find the Spanish Steps? Round 8, question 3. So think about it. It could be a trick question. It might seem a lot easier, or, unless you've been there, you've been there. But which European city would you find the Spanish Steps? Round 8, question 4. What is the most southern city in the UK? So what's the UK's most southerly city? It's round 8, question number 4. Again, this one's actually a bit of a TIL moment for me today as well. I didn't know this until I actually saw it. But round 8, question 4. What's the UK's most southerly city? Your penultimate question tonight. What is the smallest historic county in Scotland, or shires as they call them? The Scottish Shires. Of all of them, what is the smallest historic county in Scotland? To be fair, it's one of those ones I couldn't really name them myself. Not as familiar with them as the Irish ones. Round 8, question 5. What's the smallest historic county in Scotland? And I thought I'd leave you off here with a kind of relatively easy one. Given that it's closer to home for most of us. What's the largest county in Ireland? Well, if you're living abroad, you may not really know that one. But round 8, question 6. What is the largest county in Ireland? It's round 8, question 6. You probably think it's probably going to be a really, really super difficult one tonight, but yeah, fairly easy enough, I think. Anyway, there's your roundup. Final questions tonight. So, which modern-day Indian city used to be called Madras? 2. In which which city would you find Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa? 3. In which European city would you find the Spanish Steps? 4. What's the UK's most southerly city? Northernly, southerly? Is that actually a word? Anyway. Southernmost. 5. What's the smallest historic county in Scotland? And 5. What is the largest county in Ireland? Okay, that's it. 8 rounds, 6 questions. 48 points in total. Let's see how you got on. Let me know in the comments. Give us a text or get in touch via all the different social media channels there. You can like and share the quiz if you're enjoying it. Also, Big Nerd Pub Quiz is available for hire if you want to have a personalized quiz for your team building activity whilst we're still in lockdown. By all means, get in touch. Very, very competitive. I can customize all of this, all the questions. I'm currently doing, I've got one lined up for a GAA club sometime in the next couple of weeks, and another for a company in England, and another for an online festival which is happening. I'm really, really looking forward to. But there we are. That is it for Big Nerd Pub Quiz tonight. Let's see how you got on. Let's see the answers for tonight. So, to round up, Bill Clinton was the president that appointed Ruth Bader Ginsburg. The pine nut is the key ingredient in pesto. Phosphine is the gas found in the planet of Venus. Japan was the country that got its new president. The French Dispatch is the new Wes Anderson film, and The Two Noble Kinsmen. It's the title of Shakespeare's last play. So, those controversial songs, the band songs. Let's have a look. Let's Spend the Night Together was the song. The lyrics were changed on the Ed Sullivan Show. It's The End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine was the song that was on Clear Channel's list of not to be played after 9/11. Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax, Don't Do It was the song banned by the BBC, but then reinstated again. Jane Birkin collaborated with Serge Gainsbourg on Je T'aime. Killing in the Name Of. Won't Do What You Tell Me. I'm not going to say it. That got to Christmas #1 in 2010. And Coca-Cola substituted for Cherry Cola in the track Lola by the Kinks. Fill in those blanks. So it was Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back. I didn't put in Rogue One as an option. Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection. View to a Kill, The Living Daylights, License to Kill, the first ever Timothy Dalton movie. Goblet of Fire there came in as part of the Harry Potter. Wrath of Khan for Star Trek 2 in that #5, and Logan after X-Men Apocalypse and Deadpool. Round 4, question 1. So we have Switzerland was the country that out of those three that doesn't have a constitutional monarchy. In fact, it's a fully functional democracy in terms of, I think it has a rotating presidency in a weird way. The Great Charter is the Latin for Magna Carta. Kind of rhymes as well. Cannes Film Festival debuted in 1946 on this day. Yugoslavia was not a member of the Warsaw Pact, believe it or not. Yes, Tito was very anti-Stalin and very against having ties with Russians at all. Robert Walpole was considered to be the first president of the UK, or Prime Minister, sorry. And Kamala Harris is the running mate for Joe Biden in 2020. Sports roundup there. Bobby Riggs played against Billie Jean King in the Battle of the Sexes. Rob Kearney, sad to see him go. One of my favourite players. Leinster and Ireland bows out this weekend from his international rugby career. I'm sure he's got a wee job waiting for him at BT Sport. Alexandra Lacazette scored the first goal for Arsenal there in the Premier League. New York is currently where the US Open, the New York State. Harzand was the horse ridden by Pat Smullen. And the Boston Celtics have won the most NBA championships, second only to the LA Lakers, or not only to the LA Lakers, but underneath them. So those books, so Arthur Conan Doyle, Roald Dahl, Margaret Atwood, Charles Dickens, J.D. Salinger, and Dr. Seuss, all the authors, those were their debut novels from them. Spread of St. Louis was the plane that brought Chuck Yeager across the Atlantic. Charles Lindbergh across the Atlantic. Chuck Yeager flew the first supersonic plane. Airbus Earth A380, the big double-deckers, are the biggest passenger airplanes in the sky at the moment. North Carolina, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina is where the planes took off. First ever heavier-than airplanes took off. The B-29s were the bombers that delivered the Hiroshima bombs in Japan. And Atlanta is the busiest airport, Atlanta, Georgia. And your final questions there. So, Chennai, former name or current name for the Madras. Mona Lisa is in Paris, and the Louvre, of course. The Spanish Steps are in Rome. Truro is the most southern English city. Clackmannanshire, it's the smallest Scottish county, and the largest Irish county is Cork. There you are. 2 minutes to go to the very, very top of the hour. Thanks very much for playing again tonight. Like I said, we don't know what's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks regarding lockdown measures and stuff. But don't worry. If you want more quizzes, I'm here for them. I'll put it out to the groups over the next couple of weeks and keep you all entertained should the need arise. But yes, thank you very much for tuning in to the Big Nerd Pub Quiz live on Harbourside.com this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our content channel here. We're getting bigger and better, and we're getting loads of amazing shows all in this week, including my first sports show, Sports Point, on Tuesday at 7, We've got loads of cool music shows from Conor McGuinness, from Amy with her rock show, Circe with her 80s program. So yes, do check them all out. For more information, do look up our social media channels there. Like I said, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Keep following, keep liking, keep sharing, and keep spreading the good vibes. Like I said, fantastic day here in Warm Point. Great to see everyone out enjoying the sunshine, but keeping socially distanced, of course. Next week I will show you that amazing drone footage. I just didn't have time to load it up tonight, but yes, I'm going to show you where I live, and you're gonna be amazed when you see it. Anyway, that's it from me tonight. See you all again next week, Sunday the 27th of September, 8 p.m. as always on Harbourside and on YouTube and Facebook. See you all again soon. Have a fantastic week. Stay safe. Don't worry, we'll get through this all together. I'll see you all again next week. Don't forget, tune into my sports show, 7 o'clock Tuesday night. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe. And good night.